Hey guys, Stitches here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Last time, we went and did all of the Spiritomb related side quests, and we added Spiritomb to our little repertoire of party members. Before we eventually settled back on top of Avalugg's legacy at the end of the video. Of course, to name this Spiritomb in honor of the young girl spirit who had guided us on that side quest, I fittingly named her Vessa. Anyways, this time. What are we doing, actually, this time? Well, I guess we're not really doing any of these. I've kind of decided maybe to push off some of the side quests for a while. I know that might sound kind of lame, but personally, one thing I've been thinking is that these videos feel like they're getting a bit too bloated. Especially after last video, which was like a 3-hour long video, albeit that one had a much more fair reason of being long. The original goal was to try to keep these videos between 30 and 45 minutes long. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to mute so I could pass some gas, but I didn't know how loud it was going to be. Couldn't get a good read on the pressure on it. But, you know, I wanted to say that I'm going to be trying to put it down. And also, I have a lot of news that has happened since the last episode of this. 1, Pokemon Legends ZA came out. 2, I played like most of it. If you want some proof, it's right here. So yes, I did in fact play it. So it is going to be a little weird going back to this. I am trying to remember the muscle memory, but this is also turn-based, so it shouldn't be nearly as hard for me to go back. But this time we're just going to straight up fight the guy. Or at least come down here. Oh, it's Volo. It's Bestie. Bye, a visit is Nakari. What a pleasure finding a familiar face. Or any face in this far corner of the Alabaster Icelands. By the way, I have no remembrance of any voices I gave these characters. Just telling you guys that now. It's been a hot minute. I'll talk about it more after the cutscene, but yeah. I came to bring Gayrick, an order of sword caps, and he was more than willing to have a chat about Avalugg. What do you say? Interested in a bit of gossip? Duh! Give me the tea, queen. And why wouldn't you be? So, Avalugg, yes? The 5th of Hisui's nobles. That he is. And you know what? He's an absolute beast! Well, yes, according to what I was told, not only does he barrage you with chunks of ice, he also fires off massive icicles, And you can cause sharp ice crystals to erupt from the ground below you. Doesn't that seem a bit too powerful to take on? What's more, apparently the Avalugg of old could be up to 100 feet tall. Doesn't that seem a bit too big to take on? Oh, you'll be alright. You just have to eat some sword caps. Then give your training your all. Nothing better than for building muscle than that. Onward to the arena. I'm doing like Game Grumps version of Sidon. What is this? Yes, well I did want to see the Avalugg, but perhaps not at the cost of my life. So I suppose my freezing digits and I will be off. You know, not to feed the Pokemon graphics discourse, but man, going from ZA back to this, like, that's like 2 games. It is very clear how graphics have changed. I'm also gonna have to get back used to the charming clunkiness of this game. So, yeah, it's been a minute. ZA came out. I played through a lot of that. Still haven't beat it, though. Nate played through it. He did beat it because he sunk a lot more time into it than I did, but that's because I've been, putting time into, videos. So he sunk a lot more time into the game than I did initially. I did just boot up the game for a little bit so I could get the Diancie mystery gift. By the way, this is just a thing. If you have the game right now, go up and switch online. Go online and go into link play, click check mystery gift, or click the mystery gift option and click the online option, and you can receive 2 different ones. You can receive a Ralts one right now, which will give you Ralts holding a Gardevoirite, which I think is a Diantha reference, since that was her signature Pokemon, was Mega Gardevoir. But also, you can get a Diancite currently, which will allow you to unlock Diancie in the game, which is a very rare, hard-to-come-by Pokemon, due to it only being distributed a handful of times. But, yeah. Anyways, so that happened. I had a couple of things that just dragged me away from videos. I really needed a break from this game for a while because, I'm gonna be honest, the last video to make was not a fun part to make. I did want to do it just to get it over with, but like the relief of getting it done was enough to just be like, okay, I think I'm done for a little while. I have started some other series. I recently started the Kirby's Dream Land 2 Let's Play. And also I recently started the Metroid Zero Mission Let's Play. So that's nice. There's Garrick. So we are to quell Avalugg as you wished. In the end, the strength of your feelings won out. Maybe your real strength comes from the way that you walk among both people and Pokemon. Well, I suppose I'd better get to work making some bombs using that eternal ice. I've heard how they are made, and with muscles like mine, it'll only be a moment's work. And there you have it. If you truly wish to quell Avalugg, then walk on the path. If you truly wish to quell Avalugg, then walk on. The path lies before you. But know that Avalugg will hurl chunks of ice at you without relent. Fucking forgetting to do that. Alright. You'll need unrivaled dodging ability. I'm gonna say maybe later because I just want to do a rain check real quick. He's the only one I think who doesn't give you flack for backing out. So for this, you are definitely going to want to make sure you have a decent team of Pokemon that can deal with ice and rock. Fire type Pokemon work fine. Water type Pokemon do work good too. So our team is actually pretty well optimized for this fight. Mainly just know though that using Pokemon against the... Or you will get limited chances to use your Pokemon against it, but I recommend that if there's any fight you're going to use Pokemon in, it'd be this one. Anyways, we'll see if I'm even ready for this, because it's been forever since I played the game. Ooh, epic cutscene. Lord. Literally, Lord of the Tundra, Avalugg. I was not expecting you to be this big. So, he kind of just starts by doing this ice wave pattern. God, this gives me Kingdom Hearts flashbacks to when I had to fight the fucking Ice Titan in Kingdom Hearts 1. Ah, shit. Speed! Go! Aqua Tail. Fucking double edge attack me. What is wrong with you? But I did play Legends EA and it was a nice little return to Kalos. But yeah, this fight's kind of different because Avalugg kind of just sits out there and you don't have to actually run around too much. Or you can just get spiked like that. What is that? That should be a move in the game, the ice spike. But Legends EA did come out. Bro, chill! Fucking Christ. Bro, you are coming at me like you hate me right now. Oh, did I miss my chance because I was too busy swapping Pokemon? Yeah, mainly the trouble comes in when he starts to combine attacks. But, Hisuian Avalugg is a fire and rock, or not fire. What the fuck am I talking about? It is a ice and rock type. Normally Avalugg is pure ice. I always thought it was an ice dragon type. Sadly, though, your fire moves are only going to hit it for neutral because of that rock type. But, fighting moves do hit it quite hard, so if you can, like, get it with that close combat... Yeah, if you're comfortable, you can try to sneak in some bombs there. But yeah, it's not too hard. Wow, you have some amazing textures, bud. We got the icicle plate, apparently. He didn't actually hand it to us. Really quickly, I want to talk about the movie Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu is a strange movie, and it does have kind of a correlation to what's going on. One of the scenes in Detective Pikachu, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's been out for a while now. One of the scenes in Sorry, it's literally 1:23 in the morning, and I was, like, unable to sleep. One of the scenes in Detective Pikachu depicts Torterra rising out of the ground that are, like, massive. We're talking miles long. And I always thought it would be cool if that was integrated into a Pokemon game. This was pretty fucking cool to see. I know Dynamax is a thing, but that's not the same because it's augmented. Rick, sir, you needn't look quite so downcast. But seeing mighty Avalugg quelled by a slight such child, a child that fell from the very sky. Is this Akari girl some kind of monster in disguise? She is no monster. She's the one who risked her life without a second thought in order to quell our frenzied, suffering nobles. Akari. Garrick cares for the Pearl Clan with all his heart, and believes in Almighty Sinnoh just as deeply. So he has feared more than any of us that getting involved with the Diamond Clan and your Galaxy team could cause our people to flag in their devotion to Almighty Sinnoh. But that will change. Irita? I know your fears will change once you've seen what I've seen. Akari has much to teach us. She's shown us how we can overcome all manner of strife so long as Pokémon are with us. She's made me want to help Glaceon realize greater strength as well, and to see my whole world grow broader. It seems you've already changed, Irita. I knew you could help pull that off, Akari. You quelled every last frenzied noble. So is that space time rift gonna start closing up now, or what? There's little way of knowing for sure, though the rift does perhaps seem a little smaller somehow. Let's hope so, anyway. Well, with any luck, things will settle down now. Although, even if the rift does start spitting out more of that strange lightning, we should still be right as long as we've got Akari. Indeed, we should be. It's good to have her at our side. You know something, Irida. We may never agree on who's got it right about Almighty Snow, but you Pearl Clan folk aren't all bad in my book. Look who's finally seen reason. Anyway, now that we've quelled the last noble, I say we pay grim old Commander Kamado a visit and see if he's finally gonna crack a smile for us. Times you've seen it, use close combat 1. Amazing. What do you have to say? Seeing you take on Avalugg was intense, even from the sky where I was watching. Anyway, now that we've quelled the last noble, I say we pay Commander Kamado a visit. What are you going to do then all the nobles have been quelled, Akari? I guess we'll figure that out, because I actually don't know what comes next. I don't know how the game progresses from here. I know what the end of the game is, but don't know how it's going to progress from here. You quelled Avalugg. We may not yet know for sure if it was right or not to do so, but it certainly was a fine battle. God damn it. I'm not used to that. Can we proc HP up? Yeah. There's not even an auto heal option in this game. What is this shit? Oh well. Our team actually made it out of that rather unscathed. Anyways, we're at 23 minutes, and since I'm trying to cut back to videos being 30 minutes to make them a little more manageable, I kind of just wanted to take a moment to talk about the more recently released Pokemon Legends ZA. Legends ZA is a pseudo-sequel to this game. It takes a similar concept where it takes a Pokemon region and kind of explores what that would be like in a different context. In this game, it was the past long gone from a region that is no longer known by the same name. In Pokemon Legends ZA, it takes place about 5 years after Pokemon X and Y in Lumiose City. Which means, yes, Emma's legal because she's confirmed to be 16 in X and Y. Which actually made me realize that I think the protagonist in X and Y is around 16 years old. And I didn't know that, and that's kind of crazy to me. Anyways, Emma's about 21 now, so, you know. Do what you will with that info. But the game takes place entirely within Lumiose City, which I know sounds bad, but I did have some theories correct. So if you want to skip to the end of the video basically ends here. So if you want to, like, move to the next video to avoid ZA spoilers, you can go ahead and do that. So my experience with Legend ZA has been a pretty positive one. Some people find it pretty negative, but I do want to say I'm playing the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the game, which I think is the more optimized version of the game anyway. I also have not been playing the game in handheld mode, only in docked. I think maybe I played in handheld mode for a little bit, but I don't know. I've mostly played in docked. Legend ZA largely is disconnected from this game, though there are some references. There's one particular area you can go to where there's direct references to ZA, where even Rei and Akari's outfits can be found. I believe somewhere you can find a picture of Professor Laventon. That's a painting. Alpha Pokemon are back in those games, so that's pretty cool. I actually find alphas to be a lot cooler in Legend ZA, mainly because you kind of have to go about fighting them a little differently, due to that game's unique battle system. That game uses an action battle system. Is this water beneath us or ice? I think it's ice, actually. It is ice. Huh. So, you know, Legend ZA has an action battle system. So rather than this game where it had a turn-based system with a different form of initiative in the form of turn speed, that game just doesn't have turns in general, and thus removes the mechanic of PP. It does kind of bring back strong and agile style moves in the form of plus moves, where by hitting plus before using a move, you can use up your Mega Gauge to utilize a plus move. And when a Pokemon is Mega Evolved, all of their moves become plus moves. Normally, a Pokemon's naturally learned moves become plus moves over time. Which does actually make me wonder if moves that Pokemon don't have to learn from Zisu in this game, I wonder if maybe they're not mastered. But yeah. So Seeds of Mastery do return in that game. One thing that did not return in that game that I was hoping would return was the linking cord. And I kind of understand why it doesn't return. So in this game has a big focus on completing the Pokédex. Its entire story revolves around completing the Pokédex and catching every Pokemon in Sinnoh. And because of that, they wanted to make the Pokédex completable again, because that was also a big criticism of Pokemon games, especially after Sword and Shield, which decided to remove the ability to have Pokemon from outside of the regional Pokédex in that game. This game kind of wanted to make a game that was more focused on completing a Pokédex. Ergo, because of that, the linking cord item was made. I think also because of that, because of the changes to the battle system, they decided to remove hold items entirely. Maybe also as a way for inventory management, since You know, this is all the inventory you get, so imagine this, but, also, when did I get a star piece? That's crazy. What am I trying to say, though? Oh. You know, removing hold items in this game with the inventory space mechanic, I think it just worked in this game with this game's more focus on field survey. A big thing about Legends ZA, though, is you can just wander around Lumio City. I would say that it's an open world game. I would call Legends ZA an open world game, where this one still has open zones, where it's just like big open levels. You can kind of wander around. But you can't, like, freely go back to Juvalife. It, like, makes a whole separate thing. In Lumios, there's like, dungeons. And, like, buildings you can go inside of that do load a separate map. But other than that, like, all of Lumios City is, like, one big map you can explore. And not only that, but you can climb buildings and shit in that game. There's wild zones where wild Pokemon spawn. But even then, Pokemon do spawn outside of the wild zones. But yeah, I'll be talking more in depth about Legends ZA once I beat the game, and I'll talk about my overall experience with it. I have been chronicling a fair amount of screenshots and stuff from the game. You can see I had some fun just taking pictures. So, yeah. Anyways, 32 minutes. I just wanted to say that about Legends ZA. I also want to apologize once more for the big, kind of gap that has been in the videos with this series. With this series running as long as it has, this series has probably been my most ambitious project yet. Being a big, long RPG. And I think ultimately, you know, that has been a problem for me personally, trying to get the game figured out. And, you know, just trying to sit down, play it, and beat it, it has been a problem. And in more recent weeks, I've had a lot of personal issues relating to very specific subjects I don't wish to cover on the channel, but just know it's like stuff that has to get handled. Otherwise, it could affect aspects of my life. In very grandiose ways. I also have some other plans going on that I can't really talk about yet. But yeah. With that, we've beaten the... Just gotta take this screenshot. With that, we've quelled the last Frenzied Lord, and honestly, I don't really know what's going forward. So next time we'll do what Adaman said and not waste any more time. And we'll go back and kind of see what Commander Kamado has to say. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications, leave a comment, You should check out the links in the description. There's links to my social media pages on Blue Sky and Twitter. There's links to my Twitch page where I occasionally live stream. And there's also a link to my what am I trying to call it? Ko-Fi page, where for $3 a month you can become a monthly member who gets access to exclusive content or early access content. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.